Hello friends, welcome to the analysis session of the reasoning ability section of Merit Shine's All India Free Mock Test for IBPS PO Prelims 2020. I know that it's one session that you've been waiting for because of the difficulty level of the test, or because of the nature of the test probably. So some of you felt that the test was a little different, a little difficult, and that is why you wanted this. We have not shared the solutions with you, and I told you that we'll do that at the time of the analysis only. So I'll share the solutions, I'll solve everything, all 35 questions, and I'll also discuss the difficulty level, the perceived difficulty level, what's a good score in this test, what's a decent score, if it's an actual test, what would be the cutoff, and all those things. And let you judge the test on the basis of what I share with you now. Fine. So do not do it on the basis of emotion. No, don't do that. So let's do it objectively. We are all educated, logical, reasonable human beings, so let's do it like that. So first things first, let me just go to the test straight away. I'll just first solve everything for you and then let you decide what was actually there in the test that you could have solved real time when you were taking it first, right? And what were the questions that you think you were not in a position to solve, right? So there are questions in the test that you look at later and say, oh, I could have done that had I known this, fine, but I did not know this, mujhe aata hi nahi tha. And there are questions for which you will say, I knew this, I made this blunder. So in which category did the questions fall? What exactly was difficult in the test? So that's important, and there will be the learning for you. So I'll just remove myself from the screen then. This is the structure of the test, right? So that's the structure. So we start with puzzles. So first question was a puzzle, 5 marker, then a 3 marker, then it was coding, decoding, mathematical inequality, then another puzzle, 5 marker, then a 4 marker puzzle, and then direction, sense, data sufficiency, miscellaneous, and one puzzle in the end. So that was the structure of the question. So these are all known culprits, puzzles, they're already there. So always there. These are what, 22 questions, coding, decoding, generally there, mathematical inequality, it's easy type, direction, sense, a little different in this one, but yes, again familiar. Data sufficiency, generally not to be done in reasoning ability in prelims, specifically prelims. And miscellaneous single questions, 2 questions, again known types. So no demons here, at least it looks very familiar to us. This is the format that we've been doing for too long, and all of you must have done multiple tests on it, right? So let me just then start showing you the questions. So this was the first question. So this was the first set. If you look here, this is question number 1 to 5. So that was the first puzzle. It was followed by 5 questions. So let's do this. P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, 8 people. They are sitting around a circular table, all facing the center of the table. Simple data. They like different sports. One of them likes cricket. The real one starts from here. Just one look at it. Exactly 3 persons sitting between. Just one look at the data, the way you do in small puzzles like that before writing anything, and trying to find out from where you can start a question like this. So just find the connections and all. Fine. So WP, this looks like an interesting statement. 3 persons between W and P means that W and P would be at diametrically opposite positions in a circle with 8 people, right? What else is connected here? I'm just trying to find good statements here. This looks good. R likes golf and is sitting beside neither P nor W. PW, again R is connected. R likes golf, and this one is good. The person who likes golf is sitting opposite to the one who likes tennis. So I think we can start with this one. This is enough. So let me just make this for you. Let's put R here. Say this is golf. If this is golf, R likes, the person who likes golf is sitting opposite the one who likes tennis. So this becomes tennis. Fine. And this is also there. The person who likes rugby is sitting to the immediate right of the one who likes tennis. So this becomes rugby. All right. Now we'll use this statement. R likes golf and is sitting beside neither P nor W. So PW. So P or W cannot come here. PW cannot come here. And PW are diametrically opposite positions. So it means that these are the possibilities for PW. There is nothing else that can happen. So this is PW. This is PW. They'll interchange positions here. Now we can either make 2 cases, or we can just dig a little deeper into this. What else is there? Look at this statement. Q and S are sitting beside each other, but neither of them is sitting beside P. So Q and S are together. So Q and S are together. Can they be adjusted here? No. Here? No. So Q and S would be in this range, these 3 positions only, but they are not sitting beside P. Fine. Neither of them. So if P is here, QNS would be here. If P is here, QNS would be here. It's like that. Anything else that's connected here? Yes, this is there. Q is sitting at the second position to the left of U who likes boxing. Now this will do the job for us. U boxing. Where can you put U boxing? U boxing, can it be accommodated here? U boxing, any of these positions? No. So the only possibility is this. In this range, if Q has to be adjusted, it cannot come here, it cannot come here, it cannot come here. That's the only place. So this is U boxing. Right. If this is U boxing, what would be the position of Q? Q is sitting at the second position to the left of U. So that's the position of Q. This becomes Q. This is Q. This becomes S. And they are not, what was it like? Q and S are sitting beside each other, but neither of them is sitting beside P. So it cannot be P. It has to be W. So this becomes P. So let us just do this as well. This is P, and P likes polo, and this would be W. Right. Okay, what else is left? Not much. This one I think we can use. The person who likes soccer is sitting at the second position to the left of the one who likes hockey. So what's the only possibility left now? Soccer, hockey. So I think that's the only possibility. You put soccer here and this becomes hockey. Right. Just one sport left, cricket. So cricket comes here. Right. And this is almost done. T does not like hockey. So T has to be soccer. And who's the last person left? V. So that's your arrangement. Now, when you judge for yourself how tough this question was, we not make any cases, we not do anything, and we got to the arrangement quite easily like that. Fine. So I probably would not have started with this question. It depends. Fine. But even if you do, you should have gotten 2-3 minutes, 4 minutes at the max, everything correct. Now, what I've done for you is that I have, just kind of drawn it like this here. It's the same thing. If you look at this, it's the same thing, so that I can show you the questions as well, right? So it's the same arrangement given here, right? I'm showing the questions now. Which sport does W like? So W likes cricket. This is here. This becomes A. Who is sitting at the second position to the right of the person who likes boxing? This is boxing. Second to the right, it's soccer. So it becomes T. Which sport is like the person who sit opposite T? So this is T. Opposite T is this. So answer becomes rugby. 4 out of the 5 sports listed below are connected in some way. Which is the one that doesn't belong to the group? Which are these? Tennis, hockey, soccer, rugby, cricket. So this is rugby, cricket, tennis, hockey, and this is soccer. So these 4 are together and this is different. So answer becomes soccer. That's option C. And the fourth one, T is sitting at this position to the right of S. This is S, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is option A. That is fifth, which becomes your answer. And there was nothing in the questions as well. Let's move to the next question. So this is another puzzle then. This is question number 6 to 8. Just 3 questions here, but it's a very small one. Very little data here. 8 girls live on different floors of a building in which the floors are numbered 1 to 8 from bottom to top. Simple data. Zara lives on the 3rd floor. Right. Some direct statements. Isha lives on the 7th floor. And look at the connections. More than 3 girls live in Gargi, Kiara. Swati lives above Kiara. All right. And this features very often. Gargi lives below Kiara. So more than 3 live. Okay, so let's start with this only. So this is Gargi, Kiara. Gargi is below Kiara, and there are more than 3. More than 3 means at least 4. Fine. So I'm using this first. So if this is Kiara, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Gargi. So this is a block of 6 girls, right? And Swati lives above Kiara. So let's put it here. So these are 7. But you also know that Isha lives on the 7th floor. So it has to be like that. That this is 7. This is Isha. This is 8. Swati, this is 6 Kiara, this is 1 Gargi, and then this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. You already know who's there on the 3rd floor, that's Zara. So just put this is Z. What else? Look at this. Exactly 2 girls live between P and T, Pallavi and Tisha. What's the positions? 5 and 2. So 4 is left. 4 will go to this girl who's left, Monica. So this becomes Monica. Fine, just 2 positions left. What else do you have here? The number of girls who live above Monica is the same as the number of girls who live below Pallavi. So where would Pallavi be? Pallavi has to be here. So this place goes to Tisha. And that's your solution. How much time? It'll take 1 minute, just 1.5 minutes. A simple puzzle. You must have done hundreds of this kind of puzzles. Let's look at the questions as well. So I have again drawn this for you. Just check this. Yeah, we got the correct one. Fine. So, well, yeah, this is fine. Okay, let's look at the questions then. We got it all right? Who lives on the second floor? So that's Tisha. That's option B. On which floor does Pallavi live? This is Pallavi 5. This is option C again. There are these many floors between the floors of Monica and Swati. So this is Monica, this is Swati. So 1, 2, 3 in between. So answer becomes option B, and we could do it very quickly. There's no way that you could have missed out on a puzzle like this. The first one probably could have taken a little time, just a little time, but this one was like 1 minute. That would have taken 2-3 minutes. This was like so simple. You would be there with me on that. Right, let's move forward. Let's go to the next question. So this is the next one, and this is one type that all of you like so very much. It's a simple type, and this is one type that hardly anybody messes up. A question on coding decoding, and this is 4 questions basically. Question number 9 to question number 12. So let's do it. What was it like? So these are 5 statements. If you look at this, 5, but hardly makes a difference. Let's start coding it. One thing that you can do in this, and people differ there in their approach, is that this is what I generally do. When it's 4 questions, I write everything. It does not take time, a couple of minutes, but it gives me all 4 correct answers. Or you can just try finding clues from between. That also you can do. But if it's 4 questions, 4 looks like a very tempting number. So I feel like writing everything, and that's what I'll precisely do here. Look at the time that it's gonna take, right? Just compare human. So I'm just writing this. This is human. This is human. So just 2 humans. What is human then? Human would be hop, right? So I'm just writing this. This is human. This is hop. Fine. Move forward. Beings. I cannot see beings here. Are animals or are animals? This is same. Are animals. So what is are animals? This should be cap dog. This should be, yeah, cap dog is here. So are animals are cap dog. Is there anything else? Yeah, animals here appears here as well. So this is cap. So animals would be cap, and are would be equal to dog. Let's write this. If you've got this, then you know the last one here as well. Beings. So the one that's left, that's fox. Right, let's move to this one, because we have already cracked animals are. So this is so lovely. So where do you find so is here, in this one, So what is the common one here? Dawn. Fine, there is nothing else common in 2, just dawn. So is dawn, and then lovely would be hat. Fine, so this will be you do it faster than I do, right? Okay, so this is gone. Let's come to this one then. Honesty so good. Is where is just appears here. That's the only repetition of is. Which one do you find common here? Caught, right? Is caught, so is becomes caught, right? And what else then? Can we do this for good? Yeah, this is good here, this is good here. What is common here? I think just one word common. Yeah, lap. It's lap. So good becomes lap. And the last one there then would be honesty. So what is left? Pit. Okay, come here. This is all done. So we have done human is, spirit amazing is left. Spirit amazing would be plot, because these 2 are gone. Right, and the last one, good animals, we've got it for good animals. Don't hurt, we cannot find out the exact words. So cap lap is gone, lit hit. Fine. So animals and good. Fine. So lit hit is the only one left. So this would be don't hurt. It's a slightly longish one in the sense that these are 5. But still, how much time can it take? So this is the configuration for you. I mean, what can you get incorrect in a question like this? Is coding, decoding as basic as it can get. Again, I've done the same thing for you. I've written it here like that so that we can look at the questions again. Maybe they are difficult, right? So this is the one for you. I am answering the questions then. What is the code for the word beings? Where is beings? Fox. That's option C. Let's move. Which word is coded as pit? Where is pit here? Honesty. So this is option A. Right. Which word is coded as lot? Lot is here. Spirit, amazing. Either spirit or amazing. Option E. And the last question, what can be the code for animals don't hurt good beings? So animals don't hurt good beings. Don't hurt is let hit. Fine. Animals is cap. Fine. And fox, lap. So cap, fox, lap, let hit. Cap, fox, lap, let hit. So this is option B. Get your answer. I mean, this is not difficult. So multiple possibilities here because it says can, right? So you just have to match these 5 codes. This is it. Cannot take you much time. Question like this cannot take you much time. Let's move. Now 2 questions on mathematical inequality. This is probably the easiest type that you can get in the paper. So these are the statements here and followed by 2 conclusions. Let's look at the conclusions. M is greater than R. Look at M. This is M. Fine. It's less, less, less. Here also less. Where is M greater? M greater is nowhere. This is M equal to A. So A greater. Let's find A greater. There is no A greater. So it cannot be true. It's definitely ruled out. R less than P. R less than P. So R. This is R less than N. This is N less than P. So it follows. This is wrong. So answer would be option B. This is a 10-second question. Let's go to the next one. This is question number 14. Let's look at the conclusions. D is greater than N. So D is equal to P, and this is P is greater than G is greater than equal to A. A is greater than N. So it follows everything. Yeah. So it follows. Good. X is less than K. X is less than K. Where do you find it? This is X, L, L. Okay. So this is the segment that you look at, and you can in fact just remove this. Fine. So you'll just look at it like this. So had it been X is less than equal to K, it would have been correct, but it says X is less than K, but X can be equal to K as well. So it does not follow. Answer becomes option A. Only one follows. 2 sitters for you, straight 2 marks in 30 seconds. Right. Let's move to the next question. This is again a puzzle, again a type that you've done so many questions of. Simple question, ordering, basic ordering, linear arrangement. Question number 15 to 19. 6 persons who like different colors visit an amusement park on different days of the same week starting from Monday. So Monday to Sunday there will be 7 days. It is not the park remains closed on one of the days during the week. So one day would be off and the rest 6 persons, 6 days, 6 persons, right? Simple data. And then some things are given. Chris visits the park before Steffi. Let's just look at something through which we can start. Fine. This is a direct statement. Okay. This is direct again. This is direct. And then we can find some connections. So let's start doing it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Names and colors, right? So Juhi. This is black. This is red. This is blue. See whatever else is connected. Okay. There's a gap of 3 days between the days on which park is visited by Rahul and Juhi respectively. Fine. So it cannot be in this direction, Juhi. So 1, 2, 3, 3 gaps. Fine. Excluding Juhi and Rahul. So Rahul would be here. Simple again. Again a direct statement. There's so many direct statements in this one. Fine. Look at this. There is a gap of 1 day between the days on which the park is visited by the persons who like blue and yellow respectively. So this is blue. Yellow cannot come here. So only possibility is this. So this becomes yellow. I haven't used any logic till now. It's all direct statements. The person who likes green, this one, visits the park after the one who likes yellow. So this is yellow. So this becomes green. You have got 5 colors here now: red, black, blue, yellow, green. So white would be either here or here. What are we left with? Let's use this. Okay, this is important. Look at this. Chris visits the park before Steffi, who does not like white. So Steffi does not like white, and this also says this one. None of the other 4 persons visit the park between Steffi and Chris. So it means that Steffi and Chris would be here either Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday. But the only condition is that Steffi does not like white. So it would be like this. If we put white here, then white has to either come here or here. If we put white here, then it would result in a violation, because then it would be Chris here and Steffi here. But it says that Steffi does not like white. So it means that this is not white. In fact, this would be the off day then, and this is off day, and this would be white. That's the only way it can happen. So this is white, and in that case this is Chris here, and this is Steffi, right? And what else is left? Done with it. Natasha, who does not like white, not useful, visits the park before Lokesh does. So this has to be Lokesh, and this is Natasha. Guys, I have seen you guys doing in live classes questions like this in 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. In prelims also, at times in mocks, you find questions that have 3 cases, 4 cases. But what did this one have? Think about it. I mean, if you do not do these questions, it's bad. Let's just look at the question. So again, what I've done is I've just drawn this for you so that I can show you the questions as well. Let's see if there are some demons in the questions. So this is the first one. Which color does Natasha like? Natasha, red. So it's option C. On which day does the park remain closed? This is Friday. That's T. On how many of them visit the park between Natasha and Lokesh? This is Natasha, Lokesh, all 4, rest 4. So that's A. Visit the park after does, okay. Lokesh, Juhi, Lokesh, Juhi, it cannot be 2 days, gone. Steffi, Natasha, Steffi, Natasha, this is Steffi, Natasha, it cannot be 4, gone. Chris, Rahul, this is reverse, fine, gone. Juhi and Lokesh, so Juhi visited before Lokesh, gone. So the answer has to be option 5. So Rahul visited 3 days after Chris, fine. So +1, +2, +3. So that option E becomes your answer. And the last one, 4 out of the 5 persons listed below are similar in some way. Who is the one that doesn't belong to that group? So Juhi, Chris, Steffi, Rahul, Natasha. So except for Lokesh, everybody is there. So these 4 are similar because they visited the park before this Friday, the break, the off day. So answer becomes Rahul, option D. And that is your answer, guys. And it was, again, you have to agree with me that this was very, very doable, very manageable, a simple question. Now I'll stop here for a while and I'll ask you this question. Many of you took the test. There are few of you who did not take this test because some others told you that the test is very tough. Fine. I have discussed 19 questions with you, questions also, not just all the sets, but discuss the questions with you. Did you find anything in this set at this point about which you can say it was tough, or which you haven't seen before, or which you could not have done, or which was even misleading, or which had a catch, or which was confusing, or which was tricky? Is there anything in it? No. What is the moral of the story? When I ask you not to listen to others, when I ask you to shut the rumors, when I ask you to, at the time of prelims and all, do not look at too many reviews, ask too many people about how the test is. This is the reason. In fact, a few of you called me, texted me later saying that we found the test manageable had we selected the questions right. And I mean, I don't know about quant and English, they might be a little different. Ratnava and Samir would be discussing that. But for this section, I can be reasonably sure that all of you watching this analysis session here would not have found at least these first 19 questions difficult. So a test gets difficult when I make a tricky puzzle and put it first up. First 4 questions are tricky puzzle. I understand, it happens. First 19 questions, all very, very doable. Not even a single puzzle in which you had to spend more than a couple of minutes. All familiar types. क्या इसके अंदर problem हो सकती है? पूछिए अपने आप से. It's important. I stopped here. This is enough. 19 is a good score. It's done. But let's look at the rest of the questions as well, and then we'll discuss about the difficulty level and all such things, right? So let's just finish this off. Let's look at everything. Right. So this is the next puzzle. The puzzle that created the most problems, and it looked so simple. It looked so simple, but it still created problems for some of you. Let's look at this one, chalo. Question 22-23 followed by 4 questions, so it had to be done. The marks scored by Dheeraj, Rakesh, Mohan, Brij, Ram, 5 people in test were distinct positive integers. Alag-alag integers the. The person who scored the minimum among the 5 students got 71 marks, while the one who scored the maximum, so this is minimum, this is maximum, 92 marks. So I'll just put this here, this is 92, and 2, 3, 4, and this would be 71, right? It's like that. Okay, Dheeraj scored more than Rakesh but less than Mohan, who scored 78 marks. So Dheeraj scored more than Rakesh but less than Mohan, who scored 78 marks. Okay, so it will be in this order. Let's just read this one as well. Bridge scored less than only one of the students. So this has to be definitely Bridge. We do not know the score yet, but now we can put this, right? Look at this one. Dheeraj scored more than Rakesh but less than Mohan, who scored 78 marks. So the only way it can be done is that this is 78, fine, this is Mohan, and this is Dheeraj, fine, and this is Rakesh, right? Is there any way it can happen? No. And who is the last person left then? Ram. So let's put Ram here. All right, and what else is given? The average score of the top 3 students was between 83.5 and 84. Probably this was the statement. What is this? Kya hai statement ke andar? 84 into 3. I'm finding the total. So 240 plus 12, that is 252. Fine. And 83.5 into 3 would be 250.50. What is the meaning of between? If something is in between, it does not include the endpoints. In any case, it has to be a single number. So what lies between 250.5 and 252? Just one number, 251. So that's the total of these 3. You know that this one is 92, 92, 78, fine, 90, 80, 70, 170. Subtract it from 251, so you get it as 81. So this becomes the answer, 81 here. And what else is left? The absolute difference between the marks scored by 2 of the 3 students was 5. So there were 2 students, the difference of whose marks was 5, and there was only one such pair among them. So there was just one pair whose difference was 5. Look here. Can it be somebody with Ram? No, not possible. With Bridge? Yes, possible. So if you put Dheeraj at 76, but the problem would be if this is 76, 76 minus 71 would always be 5. So this is 5, this would be 5. Is it possible? No. So it means Dheeraj is not 76. So difference has to come from Mohan. 78 minus 5 is 73. And that is the unique possibility. This is it. This was the one. क्या था इसके अंदर बताइए? क्या ऐसा था इसके अंदर जो आप नहीं कर सकते थे? Is there anything in it that could have troubled you that you do not know? You do not know how to calculate this average, and you do not know that the total would be this into 3. You do not know the meaning of between. You have been doing puzzles all along. Let's say 3 floors between this. Between does not include endpoints. And the clue was that even if you're confused between 251 and 252, it had to be unique. So the between one had to be the between one. Think about that. Anyway, let's do the questions. So I've just done this. How many marks were scored by Bridge? Bridge is this 81. So that's option D. What was the score of Dheeraj? Dheeraj is 73. Okay, the average score of Mohan, Bridge and Dheeraj. So Mohan, Bridge, Dheeraj, this is 81, 78, 73. Do it by observation. 81, 73, middle number is 77. This is 1 more than 77, 78. Divide 1 by 3, so that becomes 77.33. Add them up, divide by 3, whatever way you feel comfortable. The sum of the marks scored by the 5 students was, this is the total, just add this up. What would this be? 5 and 39, yeah. So that's A, 395. That is your answer again. And once you've got this, this could not have been tough. Again, let's move forward. Let's finish this off with the next question. Make a meaningful 5-letter word. This is the kind of question that you keep seeing in mocks these days. Using the first 2 letters of the word eagle, so that is EA, and the first, 4th and 5th. First, 4th, 5th. So YRL. Mark the second letter of the word as your answer. If no such word can be formed, mark S as your answer. If multiple can be found, mark Z as your answer. EAYRL. You look at this and you know that this is early, and this is where you messed up. It's not the only one. You can form layer, fine. You can form relay. I mean, that's the ones that click to me, and these are not obscure words. ये मुश्किल words नहीं है. Early, layer, relay. कैसे miss कर सकते हो यार? So इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? That answer would be option E. That's Z. Now, what makes a paper tough? Just think about it. Is it something? Is it a difficult word? No. Did I use synonyms that you have not heard of? You would say, I do not know this word. How do I do this? Fine. So that makes it difficult. वो भी नहीं था. बहुत ही आसानी से pick कर सकते थे. You had to be careful. So if you messed up the last question, you were not careful. If you messed up this question, you're not careful. But again, nothing changes the fact that the first 19 questions were sitters, and all very, very doable. And most of the questions, I mean, when I was looking at the scores and all, I realized that people who scored 20, 25, not more than 25, but more than 25 did everything. But people who did just 20, 22 and all, they got almost everything correct in the first 19, 20, right? The problem started from that bridge wala set, fine, all that 4 question puzzle. That was the problem. But here again, this was one question that had to be done and done a little carefully. This is probably a lesson for you. Anyway, let's do this one. Now, this is a question you will rarely find a question on direction sense that's difficult. Even this is not difficult, but just a little different. What is different here? It's these two people, fine. So X starts moving from here, Y starts moving from here. X reaches point E, Y reaches point S, and then the relation between point E and point S is given. Let's trace the path. X starts walking from point A. So this is, let's say, point A, fine. 100 meters north, so this is 100, to reach point B, so let's call it point B. Turns right and walks for 50 meters, so let's call it 50, reaches point C, so this is point C. Turns right again and walks for 50 meters, so this is again 50, this is point D, and we're talking about X here. Left and 100 meters, and so just draw it roughly to scale, and this is point E, and we know this, it is known that point E is located at a distance of 150 meters from point S. So let's just draw this as well, fine, it looks like 150, so this is point S. All right, what do you do now? Draw it separately. Change kar lenge, kitni देर लगेगी? Y starts walking from point O, so let's draw it separately. So this is point O, fine, and goes 300 meters towards north. So let's make a bigger line. So this is, say, like this is 300 towards north to reach point P. This is P, and we're talking about Y now, right? Turns left, walks for 100, so let's draw it like 100. This is point Q, fine. Turns left again, walks for 50, so let's draw a small one. This is 50, this is R, all right, and then 100 again, and this is S. It is like that. What would you do now? Just shift this thing here, fine. So this part here, let's look at this, this part has to be shifted here because this is S, we got S here. Now you would say, how would I assume that this S comes here? No, I'm not asking you to do that, just shift this part here, right? It can be done easily. Or if you look at the questions, I'll show you the questions later, let me just join that. Even if you look at this part, at least 2 of the questions could have been answered very quickly. But what would you do here? You'll just shift this part here. So what I'll do is, I'll just draw it like that. This is 100, let's call this R, fine. I'll draw this 50 here, fine. I'll draw this 100, I'll draw it like that. So this becomes O and this is bigger. Fine. So have you got everything here? S, R, Q, P. Let's just name them. This is Q and this is P and this is it. You've got everything here. In which direction is point A with respect to point O? This is A, this is O. Very clearly it's northwest. That's the answer. C. Simple question. Let me show you the next one. The distance between point E and point Q is roughly how many meters? This is point E and this is point Q. How much is this? You have to calculate this distance, right? This distance. You have done this much. So this is 100. Fine. This is 50. So this would be 50. So this would be reduced to 100. What is this? 100, 100. This is root 200. Root 200 is root 2 into 10. Root 2 is 1.41. Answer would be 141. It says approximate. This becomes option A, that is 140. Now, how much time would it have taken? You know a lot of arithmetic, you know a lot of geometry and all these things. You know these right angle triangles from from so long. You could not have found it difficult. Again, question number 27. In which direction is point R with respect to point C? Where is R? This is R. This is C. So this is southeast. This is option B, which becomes your answer. Again, something that you could not have called difficult again. But yes, this was a little tricky in the sense that you'll make this, you'll join this. So probably an extra minute, just that. 3 questions, 3 solid questions, not more than 3 minutes. right? I'm moving forward. Now this is data sufficiency. Data sufficiency, you know what my general opinion is. I keep saying this about data sufficiency. In prelims, in reasoning, data sufficiency is not to be touched unless it's such a simple question that you want to look at it and you know the answer. Otherwise, you'll be wasting time on it. So, I was looking at the analytics and all. Most of you did not touch it, and whoever touched it got it incorrect. So it was like that, but the questions were not tough. I'll do it for you because I'm solving everything. Look at what's happening, and I'll tell you why do you leave a question like that. Though it's not very lengthy. In a family of 6 persons, there are 2 couples. Aman is the oldest member of the family. Vimla is daughter-in-law of Aman. So if this is Aman, if you draw it like that, so Aman might have a wife, it will be like that. They will have a son, and then this would be the daughter-in-law, and this is Vimla. It is like that. It looks like that. Mohan is paternal uncle of Rohit. Where is Mohan? Where is Rohit? No idea. Soumya has no siblings. Who is Soumya? No idea. How is Soumya related to Nishta? So there's a lot of data missing here. Look at statement 1. Nishta is the youngest in the family. And how does that help me? Nishta is the youngest in the family. It can be anywhere. I mean, Nishta can be anywhere. How do I find out the relation between Soumya and Nishta? We don't know anything. So even if you assume that this is Soumya, fine, this guy is here somewhere. There are too many assumptions. Nishta can be here, below this, or parallel to this. So this is not going to help us, this alone. Let's look at this alone. Mohan is brother-in-law of Soumya, who is the wife of Aman. Fine. So this is Soumya. This can be Mohan. So this is Mohan, can be brother of this guy Aman, right? But this alone will not do the job. Again, how is Soumya related to Nishta? But if we club the two, this one and this one, Nishta is the youngest. But again, the problem is that Nishta can be here. Nishta can be child of these two. No? I mean, if I assume that this is Mohan, paternal uncle of Rohit, so this becomes Rohit. So all this is in place. But Nishta, even after combining everything, this can be here, can be the child of these, because the couples are already done. This is a couple, this is a couple. So Nishta can be here, again can be, sister here or something like that. So we cannot do it. Answer would be option E. Not advisable, not to be done, but I'm telling you, if you were still doing it, was not tough. When a lot of stuff was missing here, but blood relations, data sufficiency, not to be touched, generally not to be touched. So if you wasted time here, you did a mistake in this one. Not call it tough, but yes, something that could have been avoided. Look at this one then. 7 persons are sitting in a row. Again, some data, I would have left this, but look at how easy this question was. If you had read it carefully, you could not have got it incorrect. 7 persons sitting in a row, all facing north. Fine, so they are facing this direction. A is sitting to the left of B, C, D. One small tip is when you're doing data sufficiency in a test like this, look at what they are asking. What are they asking? Who is sitting at the west end of the row? So if the row is like that, west end would be this end. Fine, so this is west, this is east, right? It's like that. What is given here? A is sitting to the left of B, C, D. So if A is here, B, C, D all are here. Fine, so they are already ruled out. B, C, D, they cannot be at the west end. Now this is all irrelevant data for us, everything irrelevant. E is sitting to the right of C, so E would be somewhere here. This is also gone. Who is left? F, G are left. F is sitting to the left of G. I don't know where they are, but F is sitting to the left of G. Fine, so G cannot again be the west end, so it's between just A and F. Fine, it is like that. This is F, this is G, so G again cannot be there. B, C, D, E is already ruled out, so it's between A and F. So which statement would help us? F is sitting to the right of A. This is going to help us because now we know that A would be the person. Fine, so this is going to give us the answer. Is this going to give us the answer? No, it's not going to help us because you'd still not be decided between A and F, right? So this was simple. The confusing part here in this one was, what is the answer here? You can answer it using statement 2 alone. This is option B, mark B, yeah. But here the problem was that all this is not required, this is not required, this is not required. Why is it required? It's just given to confuse you. So one tip, small tip, look at the question first. I'm sure after looking at this you would have realized कर सकते थे अगर ठीक से पढ़ा होता तो. But again I would say the same thing, that you did not have to do this. Data sufficiency, prelims, mock, reasoning, not to be done, but they were manageable. I've seen far tougher questions of data sufficiency. You will not be able to do in 2 minutes. One careful reading, if you do not do it, you did well, not to be touched, but could have been done had you read it carefully. Was not something on which you could have wasted time and still you did not get it. Now this is one question that surprisingly many of you got correct, and this is one type that I'm not comfortable with. It wastes time. How many such pairs of letters are there in the word distinguish which have exactly the same number of letters between them in the word as they have between them in the English alphabet? You do it right probably because of your familiarity. Anyway, let's just write this. How do you do this? D would be 4, 9, 19. I'm just writing the the numbers in that order. So 20, this is 9, this is 14, 7, 21. It wastes time. 19, and this is 8. Now look at the differences. This is 1, surely 19, 20. So I'll not even look at this. This is qualifying, and 9, 7. This is qualifying. 7, 9. This would be counted as another one. And what else here? 21, 19. I think. Yeah. I can find 4. If I look at the options 1, 2, 3, they are all ruled out. Fine, but 4, 5 is there. Now here is my problem with a question like this, which you surprisingly do correct, most of you. When you are here, you will always feel as if you're missing something. At least I get this feeling. Fine, you're not missing anything here. I think the answer is 4 only. At least I tried finding it. I could not find another one. So answer would be option 4. But this is not such an easy question, and many of you get it right. So I mean, what is the learning here? The learning is that familiarity does help, but not everything that you'll get in the paper you'll be familiar with. So do not, when familiarity is good, but do not restrict your competence or your ability to cracking questions that you're familiar with. It doesn't happen like that all the time. Fine. Keep yourself open, trust your ability, and believe in yourself, and then crack the easier questions. You'll always find them aplenty in the paper. Well, let's go to the last puzzle then. Again, it's a puzzle. It's a simple kind of a puzzle. There's not much here in this one as well. And this is question number 31 to 35. 8 books are kept in a vertical stack. The books are of different subjects, one of which is economics, simple data, and there's just one variable, good, subjects only. Exactly 3 books are kept in the, okay, the data starts from here, law and chemistry, neither of which is either at the top or the bottom of the stack, okay. 2 books are between chemistry and physics, okay, just one look at the data. What else do we have? Then again this chemistry, you look at things like this. This is chemistry, this is chemistry, this is chemistry, this is chemistry again. So I can use this. I think this is concrete. Exactly 2 books are kept between chemistry and physics, and the physics book is kept above the chemistry book, and then chemistry is connected with so many others. Yes, this is there. So we can also use this. Exactly 3 books are kept between law and chemistry, and they are not at the top of the bottom, right? And like there's so many connections with chemistry. The number of books kept between the law book and the maths book is the same as the number of books kept between maths and chemistry. So maths would be between law and chemistry. Then let's draw it. So let's use this one first. Exactly 2 are kept between chemistry and physics is kept above chemistry. So let's write P physics dot and this is chemistry. All right, and use this one then. Exactly 3 books are kept between law and chemistry, neither of which is either at the top or the bottom of the stack. Now in which direction can law go? Can law go down? No. If you make law move in this direction, then it'll be, this is 4 already, P dot C, and then law moves down, law would be at the bottom. At least law cannot be at the bottom. It says not at the top or the bottom of the stack. So it means what? Law has to be in this direction. So what we know for sure is that this has to be law. So it's a stack of 5. L, P dot we do not know, and then C. And then we use this one. The number of books kept between law and the maths book is the same as the number of books kept between maths and chemistry. How can it happen? And this is maths. And so you look at this, law maths just 1, maths dot C, so it's just 1. So that is what we have got, and it's concrete. What you know is that this is a block of 5, L, P, M dot and C, and now you can just put in the rest. The good thing about this question is it's like so little data, there's hardly anything in it. What would you use now? So okay, can we use this one? Neither the geography book nor the history book is kept at the bottom of the stack. So what would be at the bottom of the stack? We already have 4 here, L, P, M, C. Fine, C is not at the bottom, geography is not at the bottom, history is not at the bottom. Then which book is at the bottom? What else is left? Biology is left, economics is left. So economics and biology are left, but this says biology book is kept above geography book. So if biology is above geography, biology also cannot be at the bottom. So geography, history, biology, they're not at the bottom. So what is at the bottom? Economics has to be at the bottom. So I'll just put E here. I do not know if there is something in between or not. So, and just mark it like that. It means that this is the bottom here. What else can we do here? Now we can use this one. The biology book is kept above the geography book, and the number of books between them is more than 1 but less than 4. What is this more than 1? More than 1 is 2, less than 4 is 3. So it's either 2 or 3 between biology and geography. So one way is that you put this one here, geography here and biology here. Is there any other way? If we put biology here, so biology here would mean that there will be at least 2 gaps in between. Fine. So biology, chemistry, 1 gap, and then geography. So this would be, I mean, if you can just visualize it, it will be like that. So this would be geography if we put biology here. Fine. So it will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Law would be at the top. So that's not possible. That's not possible. You'll not write all this, you'll just visualize. It means there's just one possibility, that you put geography here and biology here, right? So that's the only way that this can be done. And how many are there? B, L, P, M, G, C. There's just one left, history left. And for history, now what you know for sure is that these 6, it's a stack, you cannot put anything in between. So for history, what is the position? What is the condition for history? History cannot be at the bottom. That's the only condition. So where can history go? History can go here, or history can go here at the top. Both are possible. Let me just show you both the configurations. So if you put history here, then this is the one, and another one would be that history goes on top. So there will be like that: H, B, L, P, M, G, C, E. So that's the second one. So that's your answer here in this one. So these are the 2 possibilities, this one and this one. So as in the rest of the questions, I've drawn it here for you. Fine. So it's like that. It's the same configuration. So you look at this one. This appears on the left here. H, B, L. Yeah, it's the same one. Let's look at the questions. Even the question's not tough. Fine. How many books are kept between the chemistry book and the biology book? So chemistry and biology, 1 2 3 4. It's the same. It's the same block here also. Chemistry, biology. It's the same. 4. Answer becomes E. Which book is kept at the bottom of the stack? Eco. So that's option B. How many books are kept in the history book and the maths book? So this is maths history, 2 here, and maths history, it's 3 here. Either 2 or 3, or it's option E. Now I have got something to add here. I know how you guys do the puzzles here. I mean, what you generally do is you do hit and trial. When you take one configuration and do this like that, there's no harm in that. You can do it quickly like that. But 1, this was a very short puzzle. 2, when you encounter questions like this in which it says either this cannot be determined null, you'll have to think about multiple possibilities. They do not appear very frequently, but they can appear. Fine. They do appear at times. And if it's simple one like that, that better be done. It was simple. Fine. So what I realized was that many people got question number 31, 32 correct, messed up 33, 34, 35. So once you see this, you should realize that there's another possibility, right? Question number 34, which book is kept at the top of the stack? It's either history or biology. So that's option D. And the last one, there are 2 books between eco and geography. 2 books between eco and geography. So it's this one. This is geography, eco. So we're talking about this one. How many books are there between the history book and the law book? This is law. This is history. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Answer becomes option D again, just 4. At least on this one, there are 2 books between economics and geography. It's telling you this. What does that mean? When you look at the puzzle, you look at the questions as well, no? Fine, while solving and after solving and all. Should have made you realize that there are multiple possibilities here. Well, not too many possibilities, but in a simple question like this, they can always give you something of that sort. I'll call it an easy one again. So I'm now going to show you this chart once again. Fine, this is an important chart for us. This is the chart for you. Now you know everything in this. What was doable in this? First, very normal one. This one, again a puzzle. This was to be done. This was to be done. I'm going in order. So first puzzle, a 5 marker, circular, done. Again a stack, vertical stack, 5 girls. What was that? A simple one again. Coding, decoding has to be done all the time. Mathematical inequality is always simple. So this is 5 plus 3, 8 plus 4, 12 plus 2, 14. Again a puzzle, ordering, amusement park. These 19 questions, even if you go in order, even if you do not apply your brain, do not do anything, had to be done. If you're quick, if you're fast, then you move beyond it. But if you mess this up, anything out of these 19, you better be thinking, what's going wrong? What is playing on your mind? It's not done, yaar. Khud se dekho aap. I'll not say आसान था, मुश्किल था, क्या था. You've seen everything. Which puzzle had demons in it? क्या ऐसा question था जिसमें problem थी? Yes, there were, a couple of tricky ones in that, and many of you messed up there, and that's why scores came down. But otherwise, first 19 at least in this were so very simple. Let's move forward. After that, it was 19. After that, there was this slightly tricky puzzle, I'll say. Should have got this right, but 60-70% of the people got this incorrect. Those who scored heavily in reasoning, more than 25, got this one correct. But now this is learning for you. I don't know what mistake you made here. It was like crystal clear and could have been done very quickly. This last puzzle I showed to you. Again, the only challenge was 2 possibilities. If you missed out, again I'll call it a careless mistake only. So this 4 and this 5 marks, if you missed out on this, despite attempting, you spent time, you missed out, it's been a careless mistake. Had it been a calculus question I put there, had it been, I put a question on fluid dynamics, I put something on literature, आता ही नहीं है हमें, करा ही नहीं है कभी, बात ठीक है. But ये गलत करोगे and then you try and absolve yourself of the blame saying paper मुश्किल था, ऐसा नहीं आता है, ज़्यादा खतरनाक था, वो तो सही नहीं है ना. No, I myself understand the paper is rarely tough. So I'll give you examples. From so many times from the past when people came out of the examination all shouting बहुत मुश्किल था. At the same time, there were others texting me saying, "Sir, manageable था. It was a little different." So I am not preparing for that stupid, insane paper in which you cannot do anything. वो आएगा सबका मतलब एक सा ही हाल होने वाला है. उसमें किसी को कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा. Nobody would get anything out of it. But at times there is a paper that just tests your temperament. Whether you're attentive there, whether you're applying your brain, whether you're ready to apply yourself and do it carefully, and you're avoiding those silly mistakes and you're not panicking and all those things. So that is tested in the paper at times. So paper generally is not tough. Test series are tough. I mean, if you look at the questions and all, paper, when you call it tough, it's tricky. Fine. So 2 puzzles gone wrong, ruined, isn't it? So the score comes down from 28 to 19 or 18 or from 25 to 15. That is what happens. But what was there in this paper that you've called ये मुझे नहीं आता था? Ask yourself. Now I'm not saying all this to make you feel bad. No, that's not the idea यार. मैं क्यों करूँगा ऐसा? Even in my classes, so many of you attended so many of my classes. When did we do a question that can be called अरे ये तो करना ही नहीं है? In fact, I keep asking you, don't do this, don't do those stupid questions. I mean, a puzzle, if you have to make it difficult, I've seen in test series a puzzle that's got 15 statements in prelims. I mean, who will do it यार? कौन करेगा? ठीक है, that's a speed breaker, that is to be left. But if you call something difficult, if you call something tricky, but that could have been done just by applying yourself a little, that's the one that separates you from others, isn't it? So people cross 25 in this test. People cross 20. There's so many who cross 20 in this easily. In this, if you ask me, what's a good score? 15 is a decent score, 20 is a good score, 25 is a very good score, 30 would be an excellent score. But this is my judgment and this is my opinion. Leave that. Ask yourself, you've seen it, fine. Don't behave on emotion. Don't react on it like that. Ask yourself, कितना ला सकता था मैं इसके अंदर? Objectively. Ask yourself, and don't say that since you've seen the solutions. No, ask yourself very honestly. एक बार शांति से बैठना, अपने आप से पूछना, if I had applied myself, that's the key, fine. If I had not been careless, if I had read the questions carefully, fine. If I had not reacted on what I was hearing from people, मुश्किल है टेस्ट, होगा नहीं देर से. So many of you reacted yesterday after the release because the first few people who took it said, अरे बड़ा मुश्किल आया है, हिस्ट्री में सबसे मुश्किल है. अब आप खुद से अपने आप से पूछो, अगर ये मुश्किल है तो यार मतलब I don't know, seriously don't know. You've taken so many tests. Decide for yourself. Be objective. मैं जो कह रहा हूँ उस पर मत जाओ, खुद से वापस से इस पेपर को देखो. अभी मैं सिर्फ रीजनिंग की बात कर रहा हूँ. फाइन, लुक एट इट अगैन एंड फाइंड आउट इसमें क्या मुश्किल था. देखो, मुश्किल जब भी आएगा, वट एवर यू कॉल मुश्किल, it would only mean one thing. A paper would never have everything difficult. In fact, this section though had nothing difficult. It would either have tricky questions that are prone to errors. You make mistakes. So that is one. Or two, it would be a mix. Fine. So mix some easy questions, some moderate questions, some tough questions. There were no tough questions in this. I can still say this. There were no tough questions in this. Easy, moderate. Fine. So avoid careless mistakes. Do not panic. That is very important. And then, while selecting questions in a mixed paper, this is not a mixed paper, ये तो आसान था. In a mixed paper, while selecting questions, be good. That's an art. So it's not a speed test anymore. The problem with so many of you, and please do not mind me saying this here, is आप लोग को अभी भी लगता है ST लगाने से सिलेक्शन हो जाता है. पहले मैं समझता भी नहीं था, what is this ST? ST कैसे लगाते हैं? Speed test. ST is a speed test, right? All of you know that. एक ही तरीके के 15 टेस्ट लगाने से सिलेक्शन नहीं होता है. इट यूज टू बी बैंक्स इन 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. आफ्टर 2016, 17, bank exams have changed. They keep throwing surprises at you. Our objective behind giving this paper was not to shock you. जैसे somebody said, सर ये तो कॉन्फिडेंस ब्रेकर हो गया. अरे नहीं भाई, कॉन्फिडेंस ब्रेकर नहीं हुआ. इफ यू कीप गिविंग टेस्ट्स दैट इन विच से फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन रीजनिंग यू गेट अ 32, 30 or 28 because they are all similar questions, what would happen if the paper changes slightly? It can change, no? So we are not producing a complete test series. It's just one test. We wanted to experiment. Fine. We wanted to give you one test that kinds of tests you on certain other things. You have been taking all of the tests. If you want a confidence booster, find out an easy test. You've got so many tests with you. You've got such wonderful networks among you. Find out an easy test. Take it before the test. But what happens if the exam turns out to be a little tricky? It will not be difficult. It will be tricky. This test is tricky. It's not difficult. What would happen then? It happened with people so very often in the past. 2017 SBI PO mains, I remember. What happened with people? Paper was not difficult. I'm talking about quant specifically. It was not difficult. It was a little different. And it was different. Many people got a 0, 2, 3. And these were people who knew arithmetic. At the same time, there were people who got a 25 in that same section. Said, sir, question set में appear हो गए थे, बस इतना difference था. इसको control करना सीखो. It is important. It is an important skill. RRBPU was difficult. What was the genesis of our thinking that let's make it a little different? Not tough, different. I'm emphasizing on this word different. Why? Because it seemed like the paper is changing. Last year, IBPS PO mains paper was different. People found it difficult. Whereas there were students who said, "नहीं sir, बड़ा अच्छा paper था. It was good." Required thinking because they again moved back from giving topic-based DI to conventional DI. Conventional DI is what? DI based on ratio, percentage, average and all those things. Fine, some good puzzle kind of DI. Whereas in the previous years they were being given questions on profit and loss and times per distance in DI. That can still come. But I'm saying keep yourself open. Don't try and predict the paper. अपने लेवल को वहाँ लेकर जाओ जहाँ पर आप ये सब कर पाओ. अब आप मेरे से बोलोगे अब लेवल कैसे बढ़ाएं हम 4 दिन में? नहीं बढ़ाना है. You already know that. मैं आपको एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ. देखो मेरी सारी नॉलेजेस आर अबाउट क्रिकेट मोस्टली. बचपन में मैं बहुत देखा करता था. सो 90s एंड ऑल आई यूज्ड टू वॉच अ लॉट ऑफ क्रिकेट एंड आई दिल रोता था जब इंडिया हारती थी ओवरसीज़ में. सो यहाँ पर हमारे कैप्टन हुआ करते थे अजहरुद्दीन. तो इंडिया में तो सबको हरा देते थे. वी यूज्ड टू डिफीट एवरीबॉडी. वी वर लाइक चैम्पियंस एट होम. बाहर जाके सब हार जाते थे. इट वॉज लाइक दैट. इतना फ्लैट था. सो इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया यहाँ पर आएगी 1-0, 3-0 वॉट एवर एंड वहाँ जाएगी तो वो हरा देंगे. इंग्लैंड यहाँ आया, डू 3-0, वहाँ गए तो दे विल डू 4-0, 5-0. इट यूज्ड टू बी लाइक दैट. What changed suddenly in 2002 and 2003 and 2004 when they defeated England and Australia in their den? क्या बदल गया? They were the same batsmen, Ganguly and Dravids and Srinaths and Kumble's and Sachin Tendulkar. What did they change? Did they change their skill? No. नई बैटिंग सीखी थी उन्होंने? नहीं. नया बॉलिंग, नई फील्डिंग क्या किया था? Yes, obviously they must have worked on it. But what did they change? क्या चेंज किया था? Just that belief that we can win. It was missing. मैं आपको ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कुछ नया सीखिए. इस पेपर में कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं था. एंड बी ऑनेस्ट टू योरसेल्फ, बी ट्रू टू योरसेल्फ एंड आस्क योरसेल्फ, इसमें कुछ ऐसा था जो आप नहीं कर सकते थे? नहीं. इट्स जस्ट दैट many of you, and do not mind me saying that, many of you, the moment you see something which is a little different, you start panicking. I understand, that's obvious. I have been an exam taker. मैंने देखा है, हो जाता है. Control your nerves. The moment you see anything different, पहली चीज़ क्या दिमाग में आनी चाहिए? सबके लिए ऐसे ही है, सबकी फट जाएगी. मैं किसी तरीके से कुछ मैनेज कर लूँगा. इन दिस टेस्ट, why did I say 15 is a good score? 15 is not a good score in this test. You could have crossed a 20 easily. You know that now. Now at least you know it. Why did I say 15 is a good score? Because many people performed poorly. So when people perform poorly in a supposedly tough test, is that not an opportunity for you? When you say this, and I'll call it a stupid statement, test मुश्किल है, हमारा सिलेक्शन नहीं होगा. It's stupid नहीं है क्या? 100 सीट हैं, 1000 लोग हैं. दिमाग का इस्तेमाल करो. 100 vacancies, 1000 people appear for it. Which 100 would be selected? Think. 1000 seats, 1000 candidates, 100 seats. Which 100 would be selected? पेपर बहुत मुश्किल है, तब भी वही सेलेक्ट होंगे जो अच्छे हैं, जो बाकी उससे अच्छा करेंगे. पेपर आसान है, तब भी वही सेलेक्ट होंगे. How does the difficulty level of a test, a mock test, an actual test hamper your chances? They don't. So I give you a very easy paper, IBPS PO Prelims, the actual one. You think you'll get an 80, you might still not be selected. It happened in which test? I think RBI assistant mains or prelims, or it happened in one paper. I mean, people were like scoring 90% and still getting rejected. So it can happen. So a tougher paper, an easier paper does not hamper your chances. सो कुछ नहीं होता यार. हाउ डू यू नो दैट इट्स गोइंग टू बी एन ईजी पेपर नेक्स्ट वीक? कुछ नहीं पता है ना आपको. प्रिपेयर योरसेल्फ फॉर एवरीथिंग. वो इंडियन टीम बनो जो यहाँ भी जीत सकती है, वहाँ भी जीत सकती है. And what is the difference? Only in the belief. There is no other difference. No other difference. I'm not asking you to go to a batting coach again and learn batting. No. I just want you to condition yourself. Fine. I just want you to think I can do it. I just want you to practice it that way. I just want you to not predict the test. इसमें 5 ही आएगा, 5 वो आएगा, ऐसा करूँगा, वैसे करूँगा. मत करो. Strategy is okay, but keep yourself open. And in case the exam changes, the opportunity that you'll have would be greater than all others who still are going there with the belief, with the hope that the paper would be predictable. So a paper on predictable lines actually increases the competition because everybody is so well prepared. Whereas a paper that's different and separates you from other average task takers. I mean, if I can call it that, average task takers. वो लोग जो थोड़े से भी चेंज को नहीं टॉलरेट कर पाते. अभी आपके ऊपर उसको कैसे लेते हो? But for me, there's a huge learning in this for you. खुद से देखना, वापस देखना, टाइम स्पेंड करना and try and find out if this was doable. Let me just complete this exercise. So these two were slightly tricky puzzles about which you'll feel now कर सकता था यार, बिल्कुल कर सकता था, थोड़ी सी गलती कर दी. Direction sense a little different but again manageable. I showed it to you. Data sufficiency could have been avoided. Miscellaneous single questions, you're familiar with both the types, you could have done them. छोड़ भी दे तो कुछ नहीं होता. But these 19 marks in the beginning and then something else, you could have reached a 25 in this paper. Yeah, 25 would have been a phenomenal score in this. 25 would have been your 99 percentile because others are struggling. Would you not want to get this if the paper turns out to be like this? ऐसा मत सोचना. देखो, अगर आपको लगता है अच्छा पेपर, आसान पेपर होता है तो ठीक है. We'll hope, we'll wish कि अभी अगले हफ्ते आपका पेपर आसान है. Let's just hope that it turns out to be an easy paper. But again, I'm telling you, it will not make a difference. At times you have not seen people saying मैंने तो बहुत बढ़िया किया था फिर भी सिलेक्शन नहीं हुआ, पता नहीं क्या करप्शन चल रहा है. अरे भाई, करप्शन नहीं, मुझे नहीं पता उसके बारे में. But the thing is, if the paper is easy, everybody would do well. So it's not going to change your fortune. Your performance as compared to others is going to make you fail or pass in a paper, isn't it? Think like that. Stop predicting the paper. Stop chasing others कि क्या आएगा क्या नहीं आएगा. You know, you'll find 10 random videos on YouTube saying predicted questions of IBPS pure prelims. लाइन लग जाएगी यार, लाइक कर दो यार, सर ने क्या क्वेश्चन बताया, क्या क्वेश्चन बताया. अरे यार, ये करके करोगे क्या एग्जाम क्लियर? ऐसे होता है क्या? ठीक है, यू माइट स्टिल डू वेल, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट, बट छोड़ दो ये सब. बिलीव इन योर एबिलिटी. पढ़ा है ना ठीक से आपने, कुछ भी हैंडल कर सकते हो. इस बारे में सोचो, ऐसे सोचो, एंड देन यू विल बी इन अ पोजिशन यू कैन क्रैक एवरीथिंग. आसान आएगा आसान फोड़ देंगे, मुश्किल आएगा मुश्किल फोड़ देंगे. पेपर मेरे फॉर्च्यून को गवर्न नहीं करेगा. पेपर का डिफिकल्टी लेवल, पेपर के क्वेश्चन टाइप्स नहीं गवर्न करेंगे मेरे फॉर्च्यून को. आज की इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम है ना, कहीं भी जाके जीत सकती है. न्यूजीलैंड में हार गई वो और बात, जीत सकती है. 1990s में नहीं जीत सकती थी. वो 1990s की इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम मत बनो. बनना है तो ये 2000 के बाद वाली बनो. तो उसी जनरेशन के हो ना. थिंक अबाउट व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. In the end, I'll say just one more thing. When you go to the examination hall next week, many of you would have the exam on 3rd itself, fine. Do not go there with any kind of preconceived notions about the paper. I've been reiterating this is important. Do not think ऐसा होगा वैसा होगा. RRPO tough था तो it'll be tough. RRBPO was tough so this is going to be tough. It was easy so it'll be easy. Easy आता है, last year ऐसा आया था, उन सर ने वैसा बताया था. नहीं. Just prepare yourself for any kind of a paper. Paper would not decide whether I'm going to get in or get out. No, it's not my 10th standard maths paper. 95 is a good score, 90 is an okay score, 80 is an average score, 70 is a poor score. No. What I score as compared to this is going to decide whether I'm going to get in or not, isn't it? How does that matter then? One, this paper was not tough. Even if it was tough, his aim was to score that percentile. And I know people, very good students, who would say, सर गलती कर दी, नहीं ठीक कर पाए, नाउ आई गॉट अ लेसन. सो वेन एवर यू डू बैड, डू नॉट जस्ट रन अवे फ्रॉम इट, लर्न फ्रॉम इट. फाइन. सो गुड दैट इट इज नॉट एन एक्चुअल एग्जाम, इजंट इट? नॉट इन द सेंस के आ नहीं सकता, एकदम आ सकता है यार, मुश्किल आ सकता है, बहुत मुश्किल आ सकता है, दिस इज मैनेजेबल. बट बिकॉज वट एवर यू लर्न फ्रॉम दिस नाउ कैन बी अप्लाइड if the paper is like that, if it tests you on skills like this. So learn everything, learn something from every mock you take. It should not be just 1 2 3 4 5 50 STs लगा लिया अब हो जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं होता यार, गलत कर रहे हो आप लोग. समझने की कोशिश करो. learn from every mock, apply that learning in the next one, you will definitely improve. Do not say that मेरा class का topper तो इसमें 65 लेकर आया. There are people who scored 60, there are people who scored above 70, above 80 also. I see, saw a couple of scores. So there are people like that. So don't say कि मैं वहाँ तक नहीं जा पा रहा हूँ. ठीक है यार, compare just with your previous performances. You take a test, you learn something from it, take a next one. Fine. In the next one, if you're improving, that's it. That's what you are supposed to do. Not compete with the topper of your class saying कि अरे उतना तो मेरा अभी भी नहीं आ रहा यार. He's a different guy, you're a different guy, you're different strengths, he's got different strengths, isn't it? So it works like that. Compare with your previous performance and see if I'm improving or not. If you're improving, you're on the right course. Do the things that you're doing right. Analyze the last few mocks of yours, including this one, this and all, and see what's going wrong. This is not the time to build your skills. No, it's about fine-tuning it. So I'm not asking you to learn anything new. No, you cannot do that. Don't do that, and take prelims very, very seriously. It's time to convert your knowledge, your subjects knowledge and everything into marks. All the efforts that you've put into it till now into marks. Convert into marks. That's the time, and for that you need that fine-tuning. कोहली अभी रस्टी लग रहा था ना, जो मैचेस वगैरह आपने देखे उसके अंदर. क्यों? टाइम हो गया है, शायद प्रैक्टिस नहीं की है, पता नहीं क्या हुआ, उसको कंट्रोवर्सी भी कर देगा, वापस कर दी नहीं इतनी ज़्यादा. हो जाता है यार, सबके साथ हो जाता है, आपके साथ भी हो सकता है, कुछ डिफरेंट हो सकता है, नहीं मैनेज हुआ उस समय, इट्स ओके. बट आई वुड स्टिल वांट यू टू लुक एट दिस टेस्ट वंस अगैन एंड फाइंड आउट, बी ट्रू टू योरसेल्फ. एक्चुअली इतना ख़राब करना चाहिए था क्या मेरे को? इफ़ यू डिड badly, and if you did well, it's okay, wonderful. But still, even if you got a 25, 27, 28 in it, find out if you could have got more. ये भूख कभी शांत नहीं होनी चाहिए. Stay hungry, stay foolish, keep growing. It works, right? So I'll take your leave now. Ratnava would be here tomorrow with the analysis of English. Please listen to it. Accuracy in English was poor for many of you, right? And then some here would want. So that's the agenda. Please keep yourself very safe. Please keep studying. Please take it seriously. It's an important exam. Sleep well, eat well, keep healthy, take good care of yourself and your family members and friends and everything. It's very important. These are troubled times, but the exams are happening. We are happy about it. So let's make the best use of this opportunity. I'll see you again probably before the exam. And till then, please keep studying, right? May God bless us all.